All right.
And we are live on YouTube.
Yeah, so let's do an audio check first.
Okay. And we are live on YouTube.
All right, guys, if you guys are listening out there, can you guys confirm that you guys can hear us? You type in the text.
Comments.
Okay. Yeah, so let's. Okay, so Mike confirmed that he can hear us.
Okay, perfect.
All right. All right, you want to go ahead and get started?
Yes. Okay, so hi everybody, I'm Kasey Nguyen and I'm the new intern at Thai Food. So how this new internship came about, I recently just graduated college about a week and a half ago, and Ty and my dad have been friends for about over a decade, but I haven't seen Ty in person since I was in like middle school. So obviously being a recent graduate, I'm out looking for jobs and sending my resumes out, and my dad's like, hey, my friend Ty, do you want me to reconnect you with him, because they've kept in contact over the years? And I was like, sure, because I was open to any opportunities that I could possibly get. And so I also remembered in the back of my head that my dad kept telling me throughout the years that Ty's making millions, Ty's a millionaire, million, this, and that. But while I was in high school, my dad told me, if you never make your first million by the time you're 25, you're never going to make it. So when I finally got into contact with Ty and we were Skyping and discussing what I wanted to do with my life and what direction and career I wanted to go in, he asked me what was my goal. And I basically told him, my dad told me in high school that if I don't make $1 million by the time I'm 25, I'm never going to make it. And being my dad's kid, I have this competitive nature in me I was like, I have to make this $1 million. I want to make it, not for him, but for me because I want to prove to myself that I can do it. So I asked Ty, I was like, how can I make my first $1 million by the time I'm 25, which is essentially in 4 years from now?
Okay.
So that's my question to you. How can I make my first $1 million by the time I'm 25? Where do I start?
Okay. That's a great question, and I want to confirm that. Yeah, I know Kasey's dad for many years already. Oh, I keep forgetting that the microphone is over here. All right, so yeah, I do want to confirm that I've known Kasey's dad for many years. We used to be troublemakers on the streets together. So so he said. I was talking to him one day, and he goes, "Hey, man, my daughter." I asked him what he was doing, and he said, "My daughter's graduating." I said, "Your daughter? Which one?" And the little one I met when she was like in middle school, and he said, "Yeah, Kasey's graduating." I was like, "Man, that's so long ago," you know. So hold on, real quick. Hey guys, can you guys keep it down a little bit? Thank you. And so what happened was that got us talking, you know. And when I reached out and was talking to Kasey, she was telling me what she wanted to do and the kind of money she wanted to make and everything. And one of the things that that she said that I really like was that she said that you know, getting a job and stuff, and she's not really clear on how she was going to make that $1 million, and that she wanted to know how I did it and if there's anything I can do to help her, you know. So in this video broadcast, guys, I want to share with you guys how I'm going to put my, you know, brain capacity here to work with Kasey here. And we're going to create a plan or a roadmap on how we can get there. Okay. Now, I'm going to share the screen with you guys here, and I'm going to type down some notes so that you guys can see the thought process that I'm going through. And I want you guys to see how I am, you know, asking questions to Kasey, and I want you guys to notice the questions that she's asking me and the questions I'm asking her, right? It's important that when you guys are trying to create wealth in your life, that you ask the right questions. Most people ask the wrong questions like I did, and I know that because I was screwing around asking the wrong questions for several decades, and that's why I never created any money or any wealth in my life, okay, until very, very late in life, all right? So I want you guys to join me on this broadcast as we work together to create a plan or a roadmap for Kasey to get to $1 million. And I want you guys to chime in. I don't want you guys to just to be passive listeners, right? I want you guys to leave it in the YouTube text, right? And if you're watching us on the simultaneous broadcast here on the Rise app, make sure that you guys leave the questions there, okay? Hey guys, can you guys keep it down? Okay, Daddy's talking on the video over here. Thanks, guys. Right? So, hey, shh. Thank you. Okay. So I'm gonna share with you guys. Okay, I'm gonna share with you guys the process that we go about figuring this out. Okay. Now, I want you guys not to look at like the specific details, guys. I want you guys to look at the big picture on how this is going to happen over the long term, okay? It's not something that's going to happen overnight, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sharing the screen with you guys, and then I'll take a pause every few moments because I got multiple screens going on right here, guys. So I'll come back and ask the questions and answer any questions that you guys have, all right? After I cover each topic of discussion here. So let me share the screen and let me know when you confirm for me, if you guys can, that you guys can see my screen, okay? Let me know when you guys can see my screen.
It's up on YouTube.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to get right to it and not screw around. Many of you guys that's been watching our channel, you guys know that, you know, I don't like to bullshit around when it comes to making money. Right? I like to talk the real deal. Hey guys, shh. Okay. So for one thing here, guys, the first thing that we need to know when we're trying to make money or make $1 million or get financial freedom, whatever your personal financial goals are, the first thing that's the most important thing is to know what your target is. So for example, if I am trying to go to New York, I'm currently broadcasting from Dallas, and Kasey is currently broadcasting from east of Houston, about an hour and a half east of Houston, okay? So let's just say that it takes me about 5.5 hours to get to where Kasey's living, right? Mm-hmm. So if from Dallas and going southwest towards where Kasey's at near the bayous of Louisiana, okay? So now, if I did not know where I wanted to go, it would be extremely difficult to get there, okay? But since I have an idea of where I want to go, then it makes it a lot easier to go. If I get lost, I can ask for directions and I can ask for help. Now, the problem is if I don't know where I'm going, then no one can help me, okay? So the first thing is that Kasey said that she wants to make $1 million, right? So I'm gonna make a note here of $1 million, right, is the goal, okay? So the thing is that before we look at that, right, Kasey has mentioned to you guys the previous, where in a separate video, she talks about the two default partners, business partners that everyone has. The first default business partner is the
calculator.
Yeah, the calculator, right? So any business opportunity, any decision, or any financial decision always needs to run through your personal calculator first. So in this particular case, I'm going to pull up this calculator here, our handy dandy calculator, so that, unfortunately, I'm not one of those Asian guys that's very good in math and science. So in order for me to make any decisions, I either have to buy a $5 calculator or get this calculator. Hey, Max, can you keep it down, please? All right. Keep doing that. You ain't going to get that trust fund money, okay? Okay. So one of the first things that we want to do is we have to find out why it is that you want to make $1 million. Okay. So that's extremely important, because if you don't have a good reason to make $1 million, then you're just making up some random number, or you're just pulling out a random number out your ass, you know, and that really doesn't help when you're trying to make that type of money and that amount of money. Okay. So the first thing is that you have to be aware of is that there are certain things that, let me just stop the screen share for a minute.
Okay.
All right. So there are certain things that you have to have a good reason. Okay. So most people, whenever they talk about making $1 million or making any large amount of money, right? What happens is they just say that on the surface level, but they don't understand the reason why underneath it, why they're doing it, you know? So every time you hear somebody talking about they want to make some money, a large amount of money, it's extremely important that you understand what is the underlying motivator, okay? And I'll give you guys a few examples, okay? So for example, when I first got into trading and investing back in many moons ago, okay? The reason why I wanted to get into trading and investing and learn how to make money was because I was tired of growing up poor and tired of growing up broke, okay? So I got tired of, you know, every time my older brother and I, we would eat like a mango or an apple or anything like that, we would have to, you know, split the mango, split the watermelon, split everything. You know, if we get a bundle of grapes, we would have to sit there and, you know, share it and say, hey, you get so much and I get so much, you know. And I hated growing up like that, you know. It's just sickening that I had to live like that, especially in America, right? I remember growing up in high school, and my brother, you know, we were in a car really bad, so my dad got him like a Chevy Love, right? And he just got like the cab portion, right? It had an engine, but there was just a cab there, so there's no hood. Yeah, there was no hood, there's no fenders, there was nothing. And there was no truck bed either. So it was just a cab. And then he would give it to my older brother and he goes, there you go. I got you a car. You know, my dad never got me a car, you know. And we looked at it, it was like, man, are you shitting us, man? Like, this is just a cab, right? But it ran, so there's nothing that we could have said about it, right? And then later on, we had to get another old pickup truck. And then we got the bed out of one. And then we got the hood and the fender from another one, okay? So that was how my older brother pieced it. Obviously, when you drive something like the high school, you know, no girls ever want to talk to you. Nobody ever wants to be your friend when you drive a piece of shit like that to school, okay? So when I got to school, my dad got me the same thing. He thought he was doing me a favor by getting me some old-ass Mercedes-Benz, right, that had no floorboard. It was so rusted out that it had no floorboard. It had no doors on the car. And, like, I had literally drive a car with different colored doors, and it was like mix and match, okay? So I didn't like that, okay? And so I was very motivated to succeed financially, okay? And if you had to boil down everything that I was doing when I was young, right, and what drove me to want to make money in life was because of freedom. Okay, that was the idea behind why I wanted to become a millionaire, was because it meant freedom to me. And when I say freedom, what I mean by that is that I noticed that when I went out into the world and when I was poor, when I said something, nobody fucking gave a shit. Nobody listened, right? And then the rich guys, whenever they said something, even when they were wrong about what they were saying, people would still believe it. Okay, so it didn't matter, right? So we can say that we have, you know, the right to free speech or the freedom of speech and things like that in America. But the reality, if you're a broke ass American like I was, it didn't matter. You really did not have a voice. Nobody gave a shit what you said. Okay, so because of that, right? Hey, Max, guys. Hey, thank you. Right? Keep doing that. You ain't gonna get no food tonight. Okay? No water either. Take the Asian parent approach. You starve your kids. That's how you treat them. You can't whip them like, you know, my dad used to whip the shit out of me, you know, with a bamboo cane and everything, because you get locked up for that shit, you know. So nowadays, the only thing you do is just starve them. You know, that's why my kids weigh about, you know, they're about 10 pounds underweight because they keep jacking around, don't listen, you know. Anyway, I was being sarcastic there, by the way, in case you're outside America and you don't realize I was just trying to be funny, okay? Somebody take a clip of that and, you know, and talk about I'm starving my kids, you know. Bitcoin, I can see it in the New York Post or some shit, you know. Bitcoin millionaire, you know, starves his kids, you know, won't sell his Bitcoins to feed his kids. Got the ribs showing and shit. But anyway, so the thing that was for me was all about having freedom, okay? Having freedom to be able to do what I want to do, say what I want to say. And, you know, you guys hear me joke a lot about, you know, the Bitcoin Lambo and, you know, Moon Lambo and stuff like that, right? But the reality is that, you know, I just wanted freedom, right? I didn't care about wearing fancy clothes or driving fancy cars. I still drive the same bullshit, you know, Toyota minivan that I have. I got my wife a new car and everything, but I still drive the same. None of that shit really matters to me anyway, right? So what was important to me was I had the freedom to go and do what I want, okay? I'll give you another example, right? So I had a black client. She was like really old. I think she was like 80 something, 90 years old, and she lived through the civil rights era in Cincinnati. And I was helping her learn how to trade stocks. And I was really shocked because the more I got to know her, I found out that she was a multi-millionaire already. Right? She had lots of money already. And I was shocked that at her age, she was still trying to learn how to trade stocks and invest in the stock market. And that was really surprising to me, that she was always constantly seeking education to become better and more knowledgeable about making money. And when I understood, when she shared with me what she was doing, right, I said, you know, when I see somebody that is out of the norm or out of the ordinary, I always want to learn what they're doing so I can repeat that process too. You know, if you want to succeed at something, just copy people that are already successful at it. Learn from them. You know what I'm saying? Invest the time, the money, whatever it takes to learn from them. And what she did was she was investing her time and her money to learn from me because I knew how to trade stocks and she didn't at that time, right? But the thing that surprised me was that when she told me how much money was in her portfolio and how much she was managing, I was kind of shocked to find out she was a millionaire. Because, you know, she's a black lady living in America, going through the civil rights era. And I knew that from, you know, my limited knowledge of American history, of American Black history, I know that she grew up in a time when she had to ride at the back of the bus. She had to drink out of a different water fountain. She had to be bused to a different school just so she can get equal education like other people in America. And that fascinated me, that how did she go through this? How did she go through this during her lifetime and become a millionaire in America under those circumstances, right? Because if she can do it under those civil rights, those harsh civil rights conditions, then there's really no excuse for me, for you, for any other minority in America to become wealthy. There's really no excuse, right? She grew up right at the back of the bus. She had to drink she couldn't drink out of the same water fountain that white people did in America. And she had to protest and do all this stuff to get her civil rights in America. If she can become a millionaire in America, I'll be damned if I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's absolutely no excuse for you and I or anybody that's watching this that we can't do that, right? And I asked her, I said, how did you do this? And she said that she always prayed, right? She was a really strong, devout Christian. And I'm not saying this so that you guys go out there and become Christians to become wealthy or anything like that. I'm just saying this because that's what she told me, okay? She said that she always believed in God, you know, and she always read the Bible on a frequent basis. She always went to church. She always prayed. And the thing was, she always gave a portion of what she made to the church, right? And she believed that by doing that, God, you know, returned the favor. I don't know exactly how that works, you know, but she became, you know, things just happened in her life to where, you know, certain things happened to where she had an opportunity to become wealthy. And she feels that that money was not, the wealth that she had was not money for her to be spent and just thrown away, right? It was money she was assigned to be a steward. Okay, this is the first time that I heard this term, steward of money, you know, and she said she believes that that was God's money and that she was just being a steward of it at this time. And she felt that it was not right for her to be incompetent and not responsible for that money. And that was why she was coming to me to learn about trading and investing so she can take that money and grow it, right? So if you boil down what she was telling me, right, it wasn't because she wanted to make a ton of money, because she had more than enough money to retire and for her kids to retire. But what she wanted was, the key word to get out of that story that I just shared with you was she wanted to be able to contribute. She wanted to be able to contribute to the church, to the people around her, and she wanted to be a good steward of God's money.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's what she told me. Okay?
She wanted to give back. She had a strong desire to give back.
Yeah, she had she had a strong will to provide charity and contribution back to her community, back to her church. Now, the reason why I'm telling you that, okay, for her, making money was on the surface. If you don't know her and you ask her, hey, why are you here? Why are you learning how to trade stocks for? Right? She would just say, well, I'm here to make money. Right? But if you get to know her, the surface, beneath the surface, the real reason, the real motivation for her to make that money, Kasey, was because she wanted to give back and be charitable and be provide contribution to her community, her church and her community. So if you ask me, what's the underlying motivation to drive me to succeed and become wealthy and become financially free? And the key word there is freedom. And if you talk to anybody that has money or has a strong push to be successful financially, there's always, you can find, there's a few common underlying motives for people to do it that I want you to be aware of. One is freedom. Another one is to, give back or help the community and contribute, right? Another one is to leave a legacy. So keywords there: freedom, contribution, legacy. Yeah. So my question to you is, when you say that you want to make $1 million before you're 25 years old, what is the real reason? What is the real underlying motive that drives you to want to do that? And it's extremely important that you understand that from the very beginning, right? Because as your journey goes through in making $1 million, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. There's a lot of bumps in the road. It's not a smooth road where I just show you what to do and it's just a smooth ride like that. I wish it was, but it's not. That's not the reality. And I would be irresponsible if I told you that that's how it is. It's just a smooth sailing. Some of these dumbasses online that say, oh man, just Bitcoin to the moon, like as if there's no rough patches as you're going up there. Okay. So what is the driving motivation for you to want to become wealthy or make $1 million or become a millionaire?
My driving motivation is, so a little background about me is how my family came over here. My grandfather had to actually steal a boat back in Vietnam because he had to actually fight in the Vietnam War, and him and my grandmother did not agree with what was going on back then there. And they also realized that this was not the type of environment they wanted to raise their family up in. At this time, they had 2 children already. So he had to steal a boat, and he helped numerous families, not just our family, navigate the waters and come across to America in order to provide a better opportunity for their children and future generations. So he took the risk then, and then coming over, it wasn't like you said, life isn't easy in general. So they had to figure out how to make money and how to support and provide food and raise their children. So what my family did back then was they got into the shrimping business. Coming from Southeast Texas, we're surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico, and a lot of Asian people down here back in the 90s and early 80s and 90s, their income came from shrimping. Yeah. So even then, that did not provide much. You would think it would provide a lot of money, but it didn't. And what happened was my dad tried to help in his best abilities to provide an income. But then he also had me at the age of 16. My mom was 15, my dad was 16. And so he was trying to help his family while trying to provide for me too and his own family. And what happened then is he dabbled in like illegal activities and got caught. Okay. So then he got locked up in the University of Hard Knocks, which is what people who get incarcerated call it from the inside. And that's where he met Ty. And so the underlying throughout this whole time, but when I was first born in say about like 10 years, we didn't have a lot of money. And I remember growing up and having to, my mom would boil water. We'd get from like water hose water. And in order for me to bathe, she didn't want me to bathe in cold water. So I would remember her boiling the water up to like a temperature warm enough to bathe me, right? And I would remember that we all lived in the same house, me, my grandparents, my uncles, my dad, my family. And my aunt had a house too, but when we ran out of electricity or we ran out of AC, instead of staying in that house at night, we would go to my aunt's house. And then when all of us would be able to scrape up enough money to pay the bills, we'd go back to our original house. So knowing that my dad tried his hardest to provide for me then, and only to good intentions turn into him having to get incarcerated for a few years of my lifetime, it's not easy having a dad being incarcerated and knowing that your dad, the only reason he's in there is because he tried to provide a better opportunity for you. And so I don't ever want to have to go through that. And then the good thing about this is when my dad came out, he's like, how can I provide a better life for my daughter? How can I provide a better life than I have been before? So he teamed up with my uncle and they started a small mechanic auto and tire shop. And luckily, their business has steadily been going ever since 2007. And so that from then on is how he provided for me and how he was able to buy my mom and him their first house and how I was able to go to school in a good school district and how he was able to put me through college and stuff. But in the back of my mind, I remember the days where life was not easy back then. And I thought it was not easy back then for me as a child. I can't imagine how hard it was for my parents or my aunts and uncles to try to provide a better opportunity for me. And I wouldn't have this opportunity at all if it wasn't for them. So yeah. I want to be able to use the opportunity that is given to me because it's not like it was handed to me.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing from you is this, okay? What I'm hearing from you is this, is that on the surface, you want to make $1 million, but underneath the surface, right? It's really about the one word that I keep thinking about as you're sharing the story with me is security.
Yes.
Yeah, security, knowing that, hey, you know what? I'm going to be secure. I'm going to have a place to shower. I'm going to have a place to live. I don't have to go to somebody else's house when, you know, things are not working out, when bills are not being paid and things like that. Have a car to get from point A to point B, right? Yes. Don't have to, you know, somebody in my family doesn't have to go hustle drugs or do something illegal to be able to help pay the bills and stuff, right? So what I'm hearing is security. And that right there, and then the second part of that I also heard was being able to give back. You know, there were people that came before you over here that made some personal sacrifices, whether it's your dad, your mom, your uncle, your grandparents, that gave you an opportunity to go get, you know, a higher education. So you want to be able to give back, not to, you know, maybe to them, to your future kids, to your future family members, right? So the thing that I would invite you to consider is this, is that not just focus on just the what do you call that? Just making $1 million, right? Yeah. But really focus on, you know, I'm going to be secure. You know, when I'm 30 years old, when I'm 25 years old, 30, 35, 40, 50 years old, I'm going to be secure. I'm going to have a place to live. I'm not going to be worried about when a car breaks down, I don't have transportation. Mm-hmm. See, because then the reason why I invite you to consider that and keep that in the back of your mind, right, is because that is a stronger driving motivator to push your ass to go and get shit done. If you just say that, hey, in the back of my mind, I just need to make $1 million, I need to make $1 million, right? Then there's not enough fuel there in that surface level, the surface level stuff It's not enough to drive you to go and succeed.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why most people quit and give up, right? It's not that people don't want to become wealthy, but they never understood the real underlying reason what is pushing them, right? To do what they're doing. So even when I made losing trades in the stock market, even when I lost my entire account making stupid mistakes and everything, I never quit and gave up, because I always knew that when I get this trading down, when I get this investing down, these skills down, I am going to be free. I'm going to be free from the 9 to 5. I'm going to be free from, like, there would be times when I go out and work at a place, and the boss or my coworkers would say something stupid, and I couldn't open my mouth to comment on that, and I because I knew that if I said something, I could potentially get fired or lose my job or not get the promotion. So to me, I never want to live like that. I never want to live in fear that what I say or what I do is going to get me repercussions like that, especially when I'm not doing something illegal. Like when I was hustling drugs on the streets, when I was a teenager or something like that, that is a valid fear. Like, hey, you know what? When the police catch me selling drugs or something, or catch me with drugs or firearms or guns or shit like that, I'm going to go probably get locked up. Okay. That's a valid fear. But a human being, I don't believe, should walk around, and when they witness something that is, unethical or immoral, and they open their mouth to say something, they should not be in fear that they're going to lose their job, or they're going to lose their livelihood, or they're not going to have, enough money for gas next month to get to work if they open their mouth and say something that they believe in. You know what I'm saying? So I never liked that. And so that was always a strong motivator for me to be able to push forward.
Yeah.
So
my motivator is just, I don't want to have to go through that again. I don't want my kids to go through that again. I don't want any of my other family members. Nobody should have to go through that.
Yeah. So
that's my motivator.
Yeah. So that's so I'm going to share the screen with you again. Okay. I'm going to share the screen with you and the audience again. Right. Okay. Hold on real quick before I share the screen with you. Right. Let me just take a few questions here from the audience here. I got it on my second screen over here. Right. Timothy Gunter asked, do you think it'll be harder to make $1 million in crypto now versus when you made your first million? Right. So basically he's asking me, do I think it's harder for me to make $1 million a day than it was when I made my first million? Right. And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. 1,000 times easier. 1,000 times easier. When I made, when I started out in crypto, there was no hardware wallets, right? You have to bust your ass figuring out how to set up a fucking goddamn paper wallet, right? Then, I lost a bunch of tokens over the years simply because, the exchanges, like I got, all the exchanges that me and my business partner, leonfood.com, use since we got into the crypto game, they've all went out of business. They've all been hacked either by hackers or by the government, and they all went out of business. Okay. So today it's so much easier. Okay. So anybody that tells you it's harder today, they're full of shit, right? Because back then people think that it was easy when Leon and I started back in 2012, 2013. Back then, everybody was saying that Bitcoin was a scam. Everybody said, oh, this shit is a scam. Oh, you're an idiot. Like, you're stupid. Even though there was not one person you could find out in the streets that you run into that thought that, Bitcoin was going to be the next revolutionary financial technology. No one believed that. Nowadays, if you walk around, you tell people that Bitcoin is a scam, you look like an idiot. That's like saying the internet's a scam or something, So today, it's a lot easier, okay? Crypto Holder 818 asked, are you mining? Not at the moment, but we have team members that are currently mining, anywhere from one, like 100 GPUs all the way to, 40-foot containers. Okay. So I'm not doing it, but as soon as I get settled down into a place where I know that I'm going to be living there for a while, then I'll be setting up some mining rigs. And it's not so that it's for a different reason than what you guys are thinking about, but I'll wait until I do that before I share it with you guys. Okay. So Michael asked, what are your thoughts on prediction market syndicator token? This episode is not about talking about specific tokens. This episode is talking about how to build a roadmap, and use. So here's the thing, guys. The reason why I have Kasey on, okay, because a lot of people I know this, okay, that they think that, you and Leon, you know, the people think that, oh, Ty, you and Leon, you know, got in early into Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies back in 2012, you know, late 2012, and you guys hit the big leagues. You guys already on the moon, on Jupiter, on Saturn, whatever. The rest of us that are new, you know, we're not going to be able to do it. And people have all these negative bullshit, stupid, you know, limiting beliefs in their head. And the reason why I'm having Kasey on here, right, is because, you know, she's a go-getter, she's motivated, and she's willing to get off her ass and go do shit instead of just sitting on her ass and waiting for handouts, right? So I brought Kasey on. I made the decision to bring Kasey on and have her intern with us and use her as a case study. Use her not just because her name is Kasey, but use her as a case study, right? As someone who doesn't know jack shit about crypto, doesn't know shit about building a business, doesn't know shit about how to make money out in the real world. She just got out of college like, what, a week ago or a week and a half ago, okay? And I want to show you guys how I would start from scratch, from nothing. How Leon and I would start from scratch, right? Because you guys only see us when we're successful now. You guys haven't seen us when we were nothing and we had nothing, okay? And so I decided to bring Kasey on with nothing, and I'm going to show you guys, right? I'm going to share with you guys as we guide her along. I want you guys to follow along and see how I'm building out the roadmap. I'm building out the plan for her, right? So you guys can see it, and then whether she does it or not is up to her, okay? And you guys just follow along, okay? So, so no mining. So Timothy Gunner, on this journey, how much is she starting out with? I'm going to cover that in a minute. We're not going to jump ahead, Timothy, and I'll show you in a minute, okay? Chris Crypto, only the real will appreciate this. Anybody who gave this thumbs down is a fool. Hey, there's always going to be fools in this world. There's always going to be fools in this world. You know, we started out with more viewers. Now, you know, we lost some of the viewers. That's okay. Those people are not long-term thinkers. Those people are not very serious. They were looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. And when we started talking about the real shit that helps you make long-term wealth, they weren't interested, and that's fine. This is not for everybody. Everybody talks about they want to become wealthy and rich and become a millionaire, but only a very small percentage actually will get off their fucking ass and go do it. So don't worry. There's plenty of money to be made out there because most people, they're too fucking lazy to do shit, okay? So Prod SR says super valuable information. Great job, Ty. Thank you. Right, and the party just got started. Prod, we ain't even warming up yet. It just got started. So you came just at the right time, right? So Avenue OC asks, what's a good time frame to make $1 million from scratch in crypto? Say 2000 start. Americans can't join ICO, which sucks. Okay, so you're worried about the wrong thing, guys. You're worried about, yeah, you know, I only got $2,000. You know, Americans can't get into the hot and juicy ICOs. None of that shit is going to make you money or create real wealth or make you a millionaire, okay? Because you have to ask yourself, what would happen do you want to learn skills that only apply in crypto, or do you want to learn real wealth building skills and real money making skills that work even when the crypto boom is over, right? So the stuff that I'm going to share with Kasey and use her as a case study, right, is shit that is going to work whether we have crypto or not, okay? Remember that, guys.
Yes.
I think that we created our wealth in crypto, and it just so happens that it was in crypto. But the same investing skills, the same trading skills, the same entrepreneurship skills, the same business skills that helped us become millionaires in crypto is the same skills that will help you become millionaires outside of crypto. It's just that we chose to go into crypto. Okay, so don't think that it just you know, we're only going to talk about crypto only, okay? So learn the skills. Don't worry about you only have 2,000, or don't worry about fucking bullshit ICOs that are not available to American. None of that shit really matters, right? A second question from Avenue OC is Bitcoin still a good investment or altcoins better? You're asking for details, man. You're asking for technical stuff that don't really contribute to helping you get to $1 million. That's the reality of it. And I'll show you guys why in a minute, right? ICOs are shit. Well, it depends upon how you look at it, okay? Avenue says, I'm all ears, brother. Appreciate you taking the time to share this knowledge. Hey, man, we've been sharing this shit for damn near 5 years, man. But you know what? Only the rare few that are serious find us. All the other idiots that are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, right? They're somewhere else, right? They're on some dazzle-fazzle or whatever, channel, where they talk about a new ICO a day. How the fuck do you talk about a new ICO a day or each week? I have no fucking clue, because it takes us several weeks to figure out if the ICO is even worth getting into. And you got motherfuckers out there, reviewing a new ICO every other day. I was like, how the fuck does that shit happen? You know what I'm saying? So I have no clue how they do that shit, okay? If you guys want to learn how to get rich quick like that, go talk to the other guys, right? We're not here to talk about getting rich quick. We're here talking about how can we build a system or a process where it ensures that we get to that wealth that we're looking for, okay? That's what we're here talking about. Everything that we talk about on our channel is long-term. You can go back and listen to the shit that we talked about 4 or 5 years ago, and it still applies today. We're not one of those fad channels where we talk about some kind of investment opportunity or business opportunity today, and it only works today, and the skills don't apply next month, okay? We don't waste time around that. We believe that, on our channel, that if we're going to take the time to broadcast, right, for 30 minutes, an hour, or 10 minutes, this video that we create here is going to be here 10 years from now, 20 years from now, unless we get hit by an asteroid, full of gold or something, or lead or something, and just kill everybody, okay? That asteroid ain't gonna come to Earth full of Bitcoins. That's for damn sure. According to the mad Bitcoins, you'll find an asteroid hit Earth with a ton of gold, but you will not ever catch an asteroid hitting Earth with a ton of Bitcoins, okay? That's never gonna happen, because there's a limited supply. 21 million, that's all you're gonna get, okay? All right, so I'm gonna share with you guys, enough of the questions, guys. Let's go on to the next step here, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen. Just let me know when you see my screen, right?
Stop.
Okay, so, all right. So you say that how much do I need to make, right? You said $1 million. So the next question that I would ask is this, right? The next question I wanted to ask you is, why do you want to make this? Okay, what's your underlying motivation to make this money, right? And you said for security, right?
Yes.
And that's more of financial security, to separate it from computer security, because we talk a lot about computer security here on this channel, right? So the other thing was to give back.
Yep.
Right? You want to give back to the people around you, right? So basically, that would be falling under what I call charity. Like, you want to just help the people, like we're doing right now. So the first thing for me personally, it would be freedom, would be the first underlying motivation. And the second is also to give back, to contribute, like to help the people that, it sucks to have to figure all this shit out on my own. And you know what? Why the hell didn't somebody tell me or show me how to do this, so I didn't have to struggle and bust my ass, for 4 decades before I became wealthy, okay? The knowledge is out there. It's just that I don't know if people are too selfish and they don't want to share it, or they just don't know how to share it, or they just don't want to talk about it, or they just want to ride off into the sunset. I don't know what the hell the reason is. But for me, after freedom, I like to be able to share what I know, so that other people like myself that want to get to where I'm at can learn how to do it, okay? So now, the other thing too is that the next question is this, okay? That you got to ask yourself is, we got to take inventory, right? Take a personal inventory of what you're working with, right? So what that means, okay? Let me just do this. So this goes back to the question that somebody asked earlier. Who was it?
Avenue OC, about $2,000. Is that good to start out with?
Yeah. Well, what's the other one? Yeah. How much money? Oh, somebody asked you how much money you're starting with. Somebody did earlier. I'm not going to scroll through it. But somebody asked you how much money are you starting out with? Okay. Yes. And I said that, right? So here's the thing. Here's my understanding. Okay. We're going to have Kasey scrape up 10,000 from somewhere. Okay, 10,000 from somewhere. I don't care where she comes up with it, and I'll talk to her offline. What are some of the personal things that she can do, and that to come up with 10,000, and then we'll go start from there. Now, I'm purposely using 10,000 here, guys, because it's a realistic number that everyone can start with. If you're outside the US and $10,000 is a shitload of money, then start with 1,000, okay? If you happen to be a professional watching this and you have a little bit more money, then start with 100,000, okay, or 50,000. But I think 10,000 is a good starting point, and that you can work with, okay? Because before you get into crypto, it should be money that if you lost all of it, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to make you homeless, and it's not going to make you go hungry and have your stomach touching your backbone like my stomach was for many times when I was a teenager, okay? The other thing, too, is that you don't just take a financial inventory. This is financial, right? Right? The next one is, I would say, is the talent that we have, because each person is different, right? So I'm a naturally gifted artist, right? So that's my talent. How do I have it? Well, first of all, I was born with it, and then for 6 years, I spent 6 years of my life, okay, learning how to paint. So that was my first oil painting right there of Cindy Crawford. Okay, so the first time I ever painted oils, that's what I painted. All right, so that's my gift. That's my talent. That's my unique talent. Okay, so it's important that you have an inventory and you know what your talents are. Okay, don't lie to yourself, guys. Don't freaking lie to yourself. Okay, don't lie to yourself about shit that you ain't got. Okay. If you suck as an artist, just say you suck as an artist and go find out what else that you are talented at, okay? And be honest about it, because sometimes you have idiots that tell you that you're talented and you're not, okay? Let me just stop the screen here. Story time, guys. Story time. Story time. Let me share with you guys this, okay? Very important story, okay? The reason why I don't just tell you guys facts and I tell you a ton of stories, guys, is because it helps you remember, okay? The Bible is made up of stories, okay? The Bible is not made up of fact sheets, okay? If you're an engineer, you love fact sheets, but you ain't gonna remember shit that I tell you if I just tell you spit facts at you, okay? So, stories, okay? We're gonna take the Bible approach. It's worked. Most popular selling book in the world, right? Everybody remembers the stories in there. And your ass is gonna remember the story I tell you right now because, oh, you know what? I'm also going to pull up a picture, okay? Picture time. Picture time, right?
You told me facts tell, stories sell.
Okay, yeah. If you want to, to tell people, and remember it, you need to tell them stories. Okay, you tell them facts, they ain't gonna remember shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me pull this up right here, and I'll share it with you guys. Okay. As I'm pulling it up, right? Keep an eye on the questions too, so you can throw it at me whenever you see it, right? Let me see here. Okay. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Okay. So, okay. I'm having a hard time finding the picture here. Okay. But anyways, so many of you guys, I don't know if I ever shared this story with you guys, right? But the way that I got started in trading, guys, was that I first learned about trading. I was watching a bunch of guys, a bunch of white guys draw some soybean and some corn and wheat charts, commodity charts. Back then we didn't have we didn't have computers and shit, so they were drawing this shit out by hand in the library, okay? And I would go there and I would, peek and see what these guys are doing. And, one thing led to another, and they started introducing me to the commodities market, okay? At that time, I didn't know. The only thing that saved me, guys, was they were talking about coffee, soybean, wheat, and shit that I understand. If they tried to explain to me about buying Apple stocks or Intel stocks or Microsoft stocks, they would have lost me, okay? So even though that's like the hardest shit to trade out there, at least it was something that I understood. So, the bullshit meter didn't go in the red, okay? So, I let my guard down, okay? What is it, Tina?
Where's my bottle?
Where's your bottle? Your bottle was over there. Look, over there. Right there. The pink bottle, right there. Okay, so so what happened was that's how I got interested in trading, but I never pursued it until 2005. I met a black guy from the Bahamas with the biggest afro I've ever seen on a black guy, right? And he shared with me a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that was the first time it blew my mind because it was the first time that I had ever read a book that told me how to make money and how to start on that journey. And one of the things that they talked about on there was in order to make money, you have to learn the words that are used in making money, like the financial vocabulary, such words such as what's the bid, what's the ask, what's the offer, what is selling short, right? What is front running, what is spoofing, or what is slippage, what is the spread, words like that I'd never heard of, like electronic communication network. What the hell is all that shit, I understand each individual words, but when you put the words together, it confused the shit out of me. So in the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it said that if you want to learn how to make money, you have to increase your financial vocabulary, okay? Because if your ass don't know what these words mean, you ain't never going to be able to take advantage of it, okay? So that's when I started on my journey. I decided, hey, you know what? If that's the case, if I want to become a trader and investor, I started to need to start learning the vocabulary of the stock market, okay, and trading and investing. And that was how I got started, okay? But I never got nowhere. I would read all this shit and I would not know shit, okay? Because at that time, I was so new and I was so poor that I could not afford to invest money in getting someone that was experienced in trading and investing to educate me. So the only thing I could afford was to get books, and that was all I could afford at that time. There was no internet. There was nothing. I didn't have access to it at that time, okay? So what happened was I finally saved up some money, $2,500, and I decided, you know what? This $2,500, I can go open up a TD Ameritrade account and start trading stocks with the limited knowledge that I had from reading all these stock books, okay? And I was scared like shit at that time because this was the only money that I had, and if I lost that $2,500, then it would take me months and months and months to save that back up and do it again. Mm-hmm. And if I didn't learn anything, I would be very pissed off, right? So I decided, hey, I'm gonna take this $2,500, and I went and invested into a school and to get professional traders to teach me how to trade, okay? And that was how I started learning how to trade, from other people that knew how to do it. And it took me a while. I went to a bunch of different seminars and workshops, a bunch of bullshit, right? And I finally saw somebody trade in front of me for the first time, and that was the guy that I wanted to help teach me how to trade, to show me how to trade, okay? Now, the problem was when I got out, I didn't have any money because I had invested all the money into myself. My friends said I was wasting money. My coworkers were saying that I spent my money. I never looked at it as wasting money or spending money, okay? I looked at it as investment in myself, right? If I invest in learning knowledge, right? They always say that knowledge is power, but it's really not true. It's applying knowledge, the correct knowledge is power, because if you have the wrong knowledge, like I had and like you had, Kasey, where they were teaching us all this bullshit in college that never helped us make money, that knowledge ain't any good. Now, we keep broadcasting about investing in Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies for nearly 5 years now, right? And there's people that watch us that benefited from us, right? I just got a text message today, right, from someone that made $2,500, that attended one of our cryptocurrency investing boot camps, went out and did what we showed them, and they made $2,500 this week during a bear market. And they texted me today, was all happy as shit about it. Okay, now, and I'm saying that based on what they text me, guys, that doesn't mean that if you come to our boot camp, you're automatically going to make $2,500 during a bear market. Okay, no guarantees. Okay, just saying that's what the message I got today, right? So what happened was when I got out, I finally learned how to trade from these professional traders, right? The problem is I didn't have no money. So I went out onto I was working as a club promoter at that time in Austin, Texas. And I was watching all these people, these homeless people, ask for money. Like they would come ask me for money. They would ask all the other bouncers and all the other club promoters for money. And every night I would see these guys asking for money. And I was like, you know what? I can't believe every day these guys the same guys come out every day asking for money, right? And at that time, my job was to bring girls into the clubs. Okay, so my job was to bring girls, hot girls, attractive girls into the clubs so that people would come. The guys would come into the clubs. Okay, so let me just find some pictures here. Right, so there's the picture right there. I was working there in Austin, Texas. That's me right there. Right. So there's me again, bringing in armloads of girls right there, right? Oh, holy crap. Right there, okay? Right there, right? I gotta be careful with some of these pictures here, okay? So I'm gonna stop there, okay? So anyways, guys, I gotta be careful, I'm married now, okay? So I would bring these attractive girls into the clubs, right? And then what would happen was, they would stay there, and then we would have the attractive girls, and then guys would come in, they would buy the alcohol and all kinds of stuff, okay? So what happened was I would notice that every time I approach about a dozen girls and ask them to come into the club, right, there would be like 2, 3 girls that would come. It didn't matter what day of the week it was. It didn't matter. For 3 years I did that. Okay, I would just go and tap on and joke around with them and tell them, hey, come on into our club, and they would come in. Like no matter, it didn't matter they were black, white, Mexican, ugly girls, attractive girls, it didn't matter, fat, skinny, tall, short, it didn't matter. And I noticed that there was a statistical, like, what do you call that? There was hey, what's up, King Nick? King Nick is from Atlanta, right? He's doing really good. And King Nick is out in Puerto Rico with my business partners out there right now. I meant to call him. Hey, I got to call you up afterwards later on, bro, because my business partners out there, and they live like right next to you, and you probably don't even know it, okay? But anyway, so what happened was I noticed that every dozen girls or so, like 2 or 3 would come in, okay? So what happened was I also noticed that the homeless guys would always ask people money. And no matter how many people said no, there was always a percentage of people that said yes and gave them money. So I had this wild ass idea in my head that since I don't have no money to trade stocks with and open up my trading account, I'm going to go and ask somebody for $10,000 on the streets. So I literally stood on the street corner, and there was thousands of people coming in and out in the club district. Okay. Now, as I'm saying this, it's hard for you guys to picture this. So I got to pull up this picture, guys. 6th Street, Austin. Okay. Right. So I got to show you guys this picture here so that you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay. Have an idea. Let me just pull this up. Otherwise, if I don't show you guys this, you guys are going to think I'm a nutcase or something. Okay. So I want to show you guys this. Okay. Oh, by the way, do you see my screen?
No.
Ah, no wonder. Ah, crap. I was telling you guys all this stuff, but I didn't show you guys this. I thought the whole time I'm showing you guys picture after picture, and that's why I was wondering, like, okay, let me just hit the rewind button real quick, guys. Just tell me when you guys see my screen. Okay.
Now I can see it, so I'm pretty sure they'll see it.
Okay. So I'm telling you guys the story, and I'm showing it to you guys on the screen. If you guys don't see it next time, let me know. Okay. So here is what it looks like on 6th Street where I was working, guys, right here. So that's how many people are packed into 6th Street every day. That's during the day. And then on the weekends, it would look like that right there. That's 6th Street in Austin. So if you're a single guy, this is like hog heaven right here. Okay. Right there.
If you're in Austin and you're looking for a good time, that's where you go.
Yeah, if you're in Austin, you have got to come to 6th Street, right? If you're in China, you have got to come to 6th Street, Austin. If you're in Russia, if you're in Moscow, you have got to come to 6th Street in Austin. If and things have changed on 6th Street a little bit, okay? Things have changed since I worked there, okay? They've separated into like a ghetto side and then an upper higher class side. So when you come down, make sure you look for the upper higher class side so that you don't be around a bunch of knuckleheads, okay? But anyways, so when I was wondering why I kept showing these pictures earlier, but you guys didn't say anything, okay? So let me just do this again, right? So when I was working down there, so my job was to go into that crowd and bring in the attractive girls, okay? So there it is, right there, right? There's me right there, right? There's me bringing in, you know, a batch of girls, right? And this would be like an all-night thing, guys, right? This would be like an all-night thing. Just go out there, grab girls, bring them in, right? Go out there, grab girls, bring them in, right? So that was the it was a rough job, guys. It was a rough job. Okay, so there it is. Some more right there.
Somebody,
okay. Right? Hey, be nice. Be nice. I'm trying to help you make $1 million here. Okay, so there it is. Right? Okay. So just to give you guys an idea, okay, so that you guys have a frame of reference as I'm talking about it. Okay. All right. Come on now, guys. See what you saw now? Everybody's calling me a pimp on the chat box now.
Yeah, has your wife ever seen those photos?
Oh yeah, I had to show it to her first. She asked me if I had any skeletons in the closet, you know, so I showed it to her so that there would be no bullshit in the future. So yeah, the answer is yes. My wife is fully aware of it. Okay, so all right. So here's the thing, right? So I saw that if I go and approach a dozen girls, there would be like 2 or 3 that would come into the club with me. And I noticed how the homeless people would always ask for money and they would get a percentage of it. I know it's cracking you up, but this is how I got my first account, okay? So I started asking, right? I started asking, okay, whatchamacallit said I groped the girl. I did not grope her. She forced me to check out her new boobs, okay? So I didn't grope her, right? So anyways, I figured, you know what? I had this wild ass idea because I saw a bunch of rich white kids running around everywhere, right? Because it's a college town, right? One of the best college towns in America. So we had all these rich white kids running everywhere. And I said to myself, you know what? I bet that there is some rich white kid in here that's got so much freaking money that if I go up there and ask him to borrow $10,000 to open up a stock trading account and I'll make some money from it, and then whatever money we make we'll split in half, you know, I'll bet you there is somebody in this thousands and thousands of rich preppy white kids in this coming up and down the street here every night, and it's only a matter of time before the odds work in my favor. And that's what I did. I started asking everybody on the streets, hey man, you got $10,000 for me to open up a trading account, right? You got $10,000. You got $10,000. Hey man, you got an extra $10,000, right? And we would be in a conversation, you know, somewhere, and then out of nowhere, I would just ask him, hey man, would you happen to have $10,000 extra laying around somewhere? I need to open up a trading account, right? and lo and behold, right? One day, a guy actually, you know, make a long story short, a guy actually loaned me the money. A guy actually loaned me the money, okay? He thought I was a nutcase when I asked him. He thought I was retarded, okay? But when I told him what I was gonna do with it, I gave him some verification material. He verified it. It was true, okay? And he actually put up $10,000 for me to trade, okay? So the reason why I shared this whole story with you guys is that if there is a will, there is a way. So that bullshit about I only got $1,000, I only got $2,000 and all that other dumb shit, you know, that is not a good enough excuse. That's a bullshit excuse. I will not accept that, okay? If you want something bad enough, you will figure out a way to make it happen, okay? You will make it happen, okay? There is absolutely no excuses whatsoever, okay? And I'm trying to find a picture of the guy that I have it in my computer file here somewhere. Okay, so I have it somewhere. I know I do. Okay, because I took a picture with him later on because I wanted to thank him, you know, because if it hadn't been for him, his name is Andrew. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna plug him real quick. I'm gonna do a quick plug for him. Okay, he is the best auctioneer you will ever meet in your freaking life. Okay. The best auctioneer you will ever meet. And this is him right here. Okay, let me just share. Let me just share the screen with you guys. Right, this is the best auctioneer you will ever meet in your life. So if you ever need someone to raise money, right? Here it is right here. Right? So that's him right there. Right here. So he's the guy that's in the cowboy hat. Right here. Right there. That's him right there. Okay. Great guy. Okay. This is the guy that helped me. His name is Andrew Boss right here. So he owns Boss Benefit Auctions. So if anybody needs a badass auctioneer, this guy has broken every record at pretty much every auction that he does. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. Okay. So this is the backstory that many of you guys don't ever know about, you know, and that's how that's why I keep saying to you guys, right? That's why I keep saying to you guys that somebody does not become wealthy by themselves. That bullshit idea about, you know, a self-made millionaire and bullshit, that's a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Don't listen to that crap for 1 minute, and don't believe that crap for 1 minute. It takes a team. It takes people surrounding yourself with the right people to help you. So Andrew there helped me. Okay, now the reason why I'm bringing up Andrew here is it goes back to our talents that I was talking about, taking a personal inventory. So Andrew actually went to school and went all his life to learn how to be a dancer. Okay, he went to learn how to be a dancer, got his first job out of dancing school, wherever bullshit school that he went to, right? And got a job on a cruise ship as a performer, as a dancer. You know, like he's one of those male dancers. No, he's not gay or anything. He's just a dancer, right? And he went out there, and after his first performance, the dancing director came and fired his ass and said, "Hey, you suck. Like, I've never seen somebody dance so horribly. You suck." Okay? I don't know how you even made it this far, right? He says, "You're fired. You ain't never dancing on my ship again," right? And then Andrew got pissed off, and he was upset that he got fired after his first performance, right? And he said that he was really hurt inside. He said he was really hurt. And the director said, "Man, you know what? It sucks that I have to tell you that, man. It sucks that I have to be the one that tells you that you suck." Okay? When you started your first dancing school, whenever you were a little kid in elementary school, in middle school, in high school, in college, somebody should have told you, "You suck at this shit, man. Go find something else to do." And he says, why did these people lie to you for, man? Like, that's not even right. You spent all that time practicing this shit. You ain't got no rhythm. You ain't got no grace. You ain't got shit. You should not be a dancer. Go do something else, right? And it devastated him, and he was like literally in tears, right? So he went down to the bar down at the cruise ship, and he was drinking, and he was just really depressed and really sad that, and the director or whoever his boss was said, "You can stay on the ship until, you know, I'll pay you for the rest of the time you're here, right? But when we dock, man, your ass is out of here. You ain't dancing no more, man," right? And he says, "Man," and the director kept telling him, like, "It shouldn't have to be me that tells you that, man. You're old enough. Somebody should have said this to you a long time ago so you didn't have to waste all that time," right? And so what happened was, while he was drinking there, somebody came up and offered him a job, saw that how depressed he was and when drinking pretty hard, and offered him a job to be an art auctioneer. He goes, "Man, I got a spot open that you just want a job until you figure out what you want to do next." And Andrew said, "I don't know shit about being an auctioneer." And he goes, "I'll show you." And from that, it turned out he became a world-class auctioneer after learning how to auction art on a cruise ship. And he lived on the cruise ship, made like $70,000, $80,000 a year, and he saved up all that money because he was on a cruise ship. He had nowhere to go except on the cruise ship. And when I met him, that's how he had the extra money to loan me the $10,000. Okay. Now I'm sharing this long story with you guys so that you guys, I hope it drills into your head so that you are realistic on what your real talents are. Okay, so you don't go out there and bullshit everyone, especially yourself, and lie to yourself and say that you have this talent when you don't. When I say that I'm a badass artist, it's because I'm a bad motherfucking artist. I have not met another living artist that I have met in person that will outpaint me or outdo anything with me in art. Not only am I a gifted artist, but I spent 6 years of my life painting for 6 hours a day for 6 years, every day. And I spent like an hour or two every day on top of that to learn about classical art and all kinds of shit. So there's no way, I don't give a shit who they think they're good. But I'm being honest with myself because I was born gifted with it. And then I also developed the skills, and I spent time tracing a bunch of artwork from some of the most famous artists that you can imagine. The good ones, not the bullshit ones, right? So I put in the hours, I put in the brush mileage, I put in the time. So when I say that one of the things that you need to do to create wealth in your life is to actually take a real inventory of yourself, okay? Now, many of you guys wonder, okay, what was the talent that I saw in Kasey that prompted me to accept her as our intern? Okay, well, she showed me some videos that she had done. Okay, she showed me some sample videos that she filmed for other people, and I said, you know what? This girl's got some talent, right? For making videos. Okay, so I said, hey. So I worked out a plan with her. Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys again, so you guys can see what I'm thinking here. Okay, so okay, you guys see my screen? Everyone on the YouTube see my screen? Okay, so the talents that
I have.
Yeah. One is video creation, right? And it's not just any random bullshit video creation. Like for me, I don't have talent in video creation. All my videos pretty much suck. If it hadn't been for the valuable information I'm sharing with you guys, most of you guys would not be watching my videos. Okay, so that's the honest truth. I might be good at painting, but I suck at making videos. Okay, so, and I don't try to be better. I really don't give a shit because I'm making videos for the information to share with you guys, not because I want to be the next Steven Spielberg. Okay, so anyways, video creation, right? The other thing too is that's a very important talent to have is motivation to succeed. Okay, the other is driven to succeed, whatever you want to call it, right? So if you have these talents, right, and what's really important, the talent of getting off your ass to make it happen. Okay, that's an important talent to have. Okay, it's another talent that I see that Kasey has, right?
Keep going.
Put aside ego and ask for help to make money, right? Now, that's important, guys, because I know a lot of broke asses out there. They're broke, right? Check this out. Nothing is worse than a broke ass that got an ego. When your ass is broke, you can't afford to have an ego. You got to put your ego aside, okay? You got to put your ego, you know what? My ego, let me go ahead and put it over here, suck it up, and ask people that know what to do instead of acting like you know every goddamn thing, right? That's the problem, especially with us Asians, right? If you're Asian watching this, right, you know what I'm talking about. People lose face. Oh, man, I don't want to look ashamed. I don't want to feel embarrassed. I don't want to look shameful. Like I don't know how to make money. If ain't nobody ever showed you how to make money, how the fuck would you learn how to make money? Going to college, learning how to cut somebody's heart out and put a new heart in does not mean you know how to make money. It just means you know how to cut somebody's heart out and put a new heart in. Okay? If you study law, that means you know how to interpret legal mumbo jumbo and technical shit. That doesn't mean you know how to make money. Okay? Learning how to make money requires you to take a time aside and learn how to make money. That's the reality of it. If you guys want to learn how to paint and draw like I do, you got to put time aside to learn how to paint and draw. Like, you ain't just going to wake up one day, whether you're gifted or not, and just be able to paint shit. Okay. So that's what I want people to understand. Okay. So knowing your personal talents is extremely important. Okay. Now, notice that I spent very little time on talk. I'm going to share my screen again. So let me know, guys, when you guys see my screen, right? Let me just take a quick poll real quick here, right? Is this information helping you guys out there, man? Is this, you guys that are watching me live right now, is this helping, you give me some feedback, guys, so I know what direction to go in here, okay? All right? Give me some feedback, guys, if you're listening. I want to make sure you guys are awake, okay? I know, you guys, some of you guys in America just got off work, and some of you guys outside America just woke up, right? Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, right? It's helping you guys out. Let me get some feedback, guys. This is active participation, guys. This is not that shit where you go and listen in college like Kasey did a few weeks ago where you're sleeping while you're in class, okay? This ain't none of that shit, okay?
We got 4 yeses.
Okay, all right, that's good, that's good. You know what? It was a trick question because even if they said no, I'd still keep going the way I am, okay? I ain't got time, all right? You can't let somebody hold you back. Okay, so here's the thing. So all this, notice that I spent very little time on this, okay? Notice that I spent very little time on how much money you have because all of this right here, all of this is the most valuable resource that you can have, right? Because you can't go and buy this shit. You can't go and buy motivation from somebody. You can't go and buy drive. You can't go and I wish there was a pill that somebody, all these bullshit supplement companies out there these bullshit supplements that they sell out there that don't do shit for you. I wish somebody would make a supplement pill and get off your ass pill so that people can take it and get off their ass and go make something happen in their lives. So they stop watching stupid ass sports and all these other bullshit Game of Thrones, Walking Dead on TV that don't do shit for their life. Okay. Take me out Thailand ain't going to do shit for your life. Okay. Go and make something happen. Okay, stop living Justin Bieber's life. Stop living Kim Kardashian's life. Go and create your own life. Stop living someone else's life, guys. All right, that shit ain't gonna pay the bills. Okay, watching fucking Kim Kardashian's ass ain't gonna get you her ass, and it ain't gonna make your ass any richer. Okay, all it is just waste your time. Okay, now these are the talents that we need. Okay, these are the talents that are needed to make $1 million. None of this shit really matters, okay? Because if you're driven enough, right, and you're willing to get off your ass and you're willing to put your ego aside and go ask for help and learn from somebody that knows it, you can come up with this shit. I've already proven it. I've already proven to you guys, that I was able to get money and I was able to scrape up some money even when I had none, okay? So if you say that, oh, I ain't got no money, Ty, I didn't have no money to get started, right? That's a bunch of bullshit. That's making an excuse, man. That is making a goddamn excuse. Do you guys understand that? You know what okay, so Kasey and I, time out, guys. We come from Texas, guys, right? The fucking best country to live in America, okay? Everybody in Texas, there's a saying in Texas, right?
Everything's bigger in Texas?
Yeah. In Texas, the bigger, the better, the more, the merrier, okay? And here's something that we also say in Texas, guys, right? In Texas, excuses are like freaking assholes. Everyone's got one, and they're usually full of shit, okay? So I don't want to hear no excuses about, I ain't got no money. I ain't got this. I ain't got that, right? You ain't got no money. Go out there and figure out how to make some, right? You need $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 to get started investing. You don't have it. Get your ass out there. There's 1,600 cryptocurrency projects out there. Every one of them got a gazillion dollars. Go tweet some shit. Go help them make some videos. Go write some tutorials. Write some articles for them. Get them to pay you and get you some money. Don't make goddamn excuses, man. I'm sick of hearing people make excuses, okay? No excuses, okay? If you make excuses, this is not your channel. This is not the right channel for people who make excuses. This channel is for people who make shit happen. Okay, so, okay, guys, back to the game plan, the roadmap here. Okay, when I get a little heated or get a little passionate, guys, just remind me, man. Just remind me to get back on track, and I'll get back on track. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. the next thing that we got to look at, oh, I got to show you my screen. Yeah. All right. I got to show you my screen.
While you're pulling it up, Bruno Ferreria asked if you can give him 10K to start trading.
Absolutely not. Good try. Good try. You got to go, hey, you don't need it from me, okay? Hey, I'm giving back to the community right here, guys. Look, I'm giving back to the community here, right? Who the hell gets on the damn broadcast and does it for free like I do, guys? All right. So I'm already doing it for free. You're getting way more than $10,000. You know, you're getting way more than $10,000 from me right here. Okay. So keep this in mind, guys. Keep this in mind. Okay. Right. You want to know how much my time is worth? If I'm making $1 million a year, right, and you divide that by 250 trading days in a year, right, that's $4,000 a day. Okay. You divide it by 8 hours in a day, right? Each of my hours worth $500 to you guys. Okay. So there goes your 10,000, you know, come back and watch me for, what is it? 10 hours, right? And you'll get your $10,000 right there, right? Knowledge of how to make $1 million is more valuable than me giving you $10,000. Okay. Good try though. Doesn't hurt to ask, right? You ask enough people, you'll get it. Okay. Doesn't hurt to try. So just keep trying. Don't quit and give up, bro. It worked for me. It'll work for you. Okay. Right. Okay. So the next thing is this, guys. What is a realistic timeline for me to achieve this? What is a realistic timeline? Okay. Now, people always ask, like, hey, you know, like your dad's saying, hey, you know, if you ain't going to make, you know, $1 million in the next 4 years, you ain't never going to make it. Right. Is this true? Is this false? Right. If you guys have questions on the Rise app, just raise your hand. If you want to join me, just raise your hand. I'll bring you up on the Rise app and we can, you know, right. So here's the thing, guys. What is a realistic time? Why did it take me until my early 40s before I became a millionaire, right? Well, here's the reason why, okay? It's not because I didn't come from a rich family, right? It's not because I didn't have any money to get started, right? It was because I didn't have the right knowledge. That's all there is. That's all there is to it. I did not have the correct knowledge of how to make money, okay? When I was young, I was studying to be a mechanic so I can build commercial fishing boats. Then later on, I studied art so I can be an art teacher and be an artist. And then I learned a bunch of, you know, studied personal training, right? To be a personal trainer, right? So I studied a lot of shit that had nothing to do with making money. And I didn't make money until I started learning about how to make money. It sounds like I'm an intelligent philosopher or something when I say that you have to learn about how to make money in order to make money. But the reality is nobody told me that when I was growing up. Okay, so I'm telling you now, it's recorded, it's documented here, so you can't come back. If you are watching this right now, you do not have the right to go and tell somebody that you didn't know that you had to learn about making money to make money. Okay, now, what is a realistic time? The time depends upon you. Okay, let me say this again. Okay, check this out, guys. I want you guys to imagine, right, a stream, a river flowing down, and you're standing on the side of the river, okay? And you cast a fishing line out there, okay? You cast a fishing line out there, right? And you cast a fishing line. However, the fish goes by. Can it miss? Is it possible that the fish go by and miss the bait, Kasey?
Yes.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Right? Okay, now, is it possible that the fish go by and while you got the bait dangling right there, it come by and eat the bait and then you don't catch it?
Yes.
Is that possible?
That is too.
And is it possible that the fish come by, catch the bait, hooks on its mouth, and you're yanking it and you yank it and then you yank it too hard and rip the hook out of the fish mouth and you lose the fish? Is that possible?
That is.
Okay, we know that all that is possible, okay? Now, as long as we throw the hook and the bait into that river, right, we have a chance of catching the fish. Now, if we're not there at the river, right, and throwing the bait in, then we have no chance, right? Now, if we throw in 4 or 5 fishing lines in there with 5 pieces of bait on it, then we increase our odds. But do we know when the fish is going to come through?
No.
Okay. So here's the thing. when we create a roadmap to get you to $1 million, nobody can tell you. There's not me, Leon. There's not even Warren Buffett can tell you that, hey, if you do this, you're guaranteed to get $1 million. That's a bunch of bullshit. Right? But can you throw the correct fishing lines out there with the correct bait on it so that when $1 million opportunity does come by, you do catch it? Is that possible to do? Yes. Okay. And how long will it take for that $1 million opportunity to come through?
Depends on how long, when you recognize the opportunity.
Nobody freaking knows. The answer is nobody fucking knows. That's the answer. Nobody knows, right? If you put $5,000 into NEO, into the cryptocurrency NEO, it grew to $3 million. If you put $5,000 into the cryptocurrency called Stratus, that grew into several $1 million. If you put $5,000 into Ethereum during the ICO, it grew to several $1 million. Okay? But did anybody know that?
No.
No, nobody knew that, because if they did, they would mortgage their house, they would sell their cars, they would sell their clothes, they would sell every damn thing, take the money out of their retirement accounts and put it all in there. Nobody knows, right? But what we do know is this: we don't know when the fish is coming down the river and if we're going to even catch it. But we do know that we increase our probability of catching it significantly if we put enough bait into that river and we put enough fishing lines in it.
Yes.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay, so that's what we need to do with you. We need to create enough hooks, and put enough bait on there so that when the opportunity comes through, you are going to catch it.
Yes.
Okay, you are going to catch it. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. And how do we do that?
How are we going to do that?
Yeah, we do that based on the talents and the resources that you have. Right? So I'm going to use the $10,000 number as an example because it's just easy math. Okay, so let me just hit the pause button real quick and see if we got any questions from the audience here. Okay. Okay, so Bruno says EOS to the moon. Okay, that's not a question. CME to go says, what books would you recommend reading? Okay, I don't recommend reading shit. I recommend going out there and taking action, because reading ain't going to get you money. The reason why I was reading was because I thought that's what makes you money, right? Because I had this perception that if I understood it, I would make money. No, it doesn't matter how much goddamn shit you understand about making money. The only time you make money is you actually go out there and do it. Okay, so okay, Bruno says, with your 10K, I made 50K easy. And he gives me a wink. I don't know what the wink means, but okay. All right, so here's the thing. You're asking all the wrong questions, guys. Why is EOS pumping? Who gives a shit? Why is, Cardano or Icon or VenChain or whatever? You guys are asking all the wrong questions. Those questions will never get you, right? Those questions ain't going to make you $1 million, right? Those questions ain't going to make you $1 million. Learning how to put the hooks out there in a stream of opportunity and making sure that you have the traps and everything set up to catch you that $1 million opportunity, that's what makes you money, okay? So doing what the books tell you. That's right. We got Will Richards on the Rise app. He says that, reading the books makes you poor. Doing what they say in there makes you rich, okay? So hold on real quick. Let me bring Abe Pooler here. He's got his hands raised here. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We got Abe Pooler here. Wait, is that how do you want me to address you, man? Abe Pooler. What's your name, man?
My first name's Anthony. My last name's Pooler.
Okay, so we'll go by. You want to go by Anthony or Tony?
You can go by Anthony.
Okay, where are you broadcasting from, Anthony?
Hey,
where are you joining us from, man?
Oh, I'm in Sun Valley. Yeah, I'm up here for work right now. Actually, I'm on my break.
Okay,
just
awesome.
Watching this broadcast.
Okay, you like it so far?
I didn't even put my hand up. It's just like a little glitch to just put my hand up. But I was just tuning in.
Okay.
But I did have a question. What's like your top 3 favorite coins right now?
Wrong question to ask. That ain't gonna get you. That's not gonna. Hey, in this broadcast, we are talking about how to create a roadmap, guys. How to create a roadmap that will help us get to $1 million. We're not talking about the magical secret sauce coin that's going to take us to $1 million, because there's no okay. So if I give you that coin and you don't have enough money to get into it, or if I give you that coin and you miss the opportunity, then what? Okay, you don't want to learn from us on our channel what's the secret sauce coin that's going to take you to $1 million. You want to learn how we got here so that you can apply those same skills to other future opportunities that come your way. Okay, so
Timothy says, walk us through how to place hooks.
Well, what's the question here?
Walk us through how she's going to place these hooks.
Okay, see, now that's the right questions to ask. That's the right questions to ask. Remember, guys, if you're asking wealthy people, don't ask them questions that don't help you make money. Okay, so let's go back to the screen sharing. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the screen sharing here. Okay, so there are several ways, right, that what we're going to do is we need, okay, so the answer here, guys, can you see my screen?
They can now.
Okay, so the answer is what's the realistic timeline for me to achieve this, okay? Now, here's the thing, guys. Knowing what I know now, okay, if I lost everything, it would take me anywhere between 2 to 5 years to make $1 million again. Okay, that's how long it would take me. Okay, now for you, Kasey, if I had to guess, it would probably take somewhere between 3 to 5 years. Okay, now let me say this. Okay. So when you are trying to become wealthy, right, you want to learn real wealth creating skills, like wealth building skills, like money making skills. You don't want to rely on luck, okay? What I mean by luck is this, right? Let's say that, okay, so I met my wife on Facebook. Okay, so I met my wife on Facebook, you know. We had a bunch of computer viruses on our computer screens. We were trying to build a website. You know, I built like 40 different websites before I got to cryptocurrency.market and became successful with it. Okay. But before then, like my first or second website, I remember we had massive viruses on our computer, right? And out of nowhere, I got this, you know, attractive girl, you know, show up on my Facebook. And I thought it was a computer virus. It turns out, you know, long story short, it turns out later on that it was a real girl, you know, and then later on we ended up getting married and we got 2 kids and then we got a 3rd one on the way, right? So because of that, that's just, to me, that's just luck. Like I don't know how Facebook matched it up to, you know, hey, you know this person or whatever that other shit is, right? Now, when I'm trading, right, and I'm able to make a living and pay for my bills and pay for my expenses on a consistent basis, right, then that to me is not luck. Like the painting that I did, the badass portraits that I do in oil, right? That's to me is not luck because I can repeat that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can repeat that, right? Even if you cut off my hand and just taped a brush to my elbow, I can still paint better than most people, right? It's because I actually have the skills, right? And it's not because of luck. So I can. When you have skill, you can replicate that process over and over and over. When it's luck, like when Anthony was just asking me, you know, like, hey, you know, what's going to be the next hot coin in crypto, whatever. To me, that's just asking for a lucky question, right? You're not asking for skills. The question that Timothy Gunter asked, you know, hey, can you walk us through how, you know, to place those hooks in there so that the opportunity comes through, we can catch it? That is the right questions to ask because that requires skill. Right, that requires skill. That's not luck. Okay. And Crypto Master says, what is the initial investment to make $1 million? That it's not the initial investment, it's you. You are the investment. You. If you're watching this now, you are the investment. Okay? Okay? So here's the thing, right? See, I'm telling you guys this, okay? Some of you guys out there that are listening to this right now, you guys are typing in the chat, asking for this coin, asking for that coin. You know, it's unfortunate, guys. It really is. It's unfortunate that you guys only see the tree and can't see the entire forest. I know this because I used to be in that same position. You know, I was asking for the technique. Give me that one juicy technique that I can make $1 million from. Okay. And that's not going to happen, guys. And if it does, it's just luck. You're not going to be able to repeat it. After you spend that $1 million, you can't repeat the process to do it again. Okay. This channel is not about short-term thinking. This channel is not about, relying on luck. This channel is about creating and developing the skills that actually makes you wealth over and over and over. Okay. So here's the thing. Let me share my screen with you again, and let me know when you see it, Kasey. All right. Okay.
I can see it.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do, right?
They can see it now.
Okay. So the next question is this: what business opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I create for myself, right? Right there, business, investing, opportunities can I create for myself? Okay, so let's look at one of them. One of them, this is a cryptocurrency channel, so it's natural to have a crypto
portfolio,
right? Yeah. So right here. Right? That's the obvious one because that's the obvious one. Right? And right here, you got, let's say that you start with a $10,000 portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, here's the problem though. Okay, let me just stop the screen sharing here, right? So here's the problem, okay? When you start with a $10,000 portfolio, when will that become $1 million? Who knows? Nobody freaking knows, okay? Somebody tells you they do, they're full of shit, okay? They don't know. Nobody knows, okay? Nobody knows, okay? All right? So here's the thing, okay? What else? I'm going to share with you because I used to do a lot of personal training with athletes, right? And during that time, I read a book called The Millionaire Next Door. And it's about these professors who went and researched like 4,000 millionaires in America, that the first generation millionaires, and to figure out how they became a millionaire, okay? And what they found out and what they discovered was that the most of those millionaires were like contractors, started small businesses and things like that. They were essentially small entrepreneurs. And when I say small entrepreneur, I'm talking about like they start small businesses, have a staff of like, maybe 5, 10, 20 employees. We're not talking about like somebody like Google or something like that, or Apple or something like that. Just small businesses. And a lot of these millionaires were just small business owners or just entrepreneurs, okay? And they said that in the research, they said that a lot of high school kids that are athletes think that they can just come out of high school and become a professional athlete, right? And they did some research and they said that out of all the high school kids that are high school athletes that come out of high school, 1 in 4,000 high school athletes will become a professional athlete.
That's a small chance.
That's a small chance. The odds of that are so slim. That means that out of these 4,000 high school athletes, you mean to tell me only one of them are going to become a professional athlete in baseball, in basketball, in football? However, we got this bullshit narrative and this bullshit on TV, in the media, in the magazine. They push our schools and our kids to think that they can make it going to play basketball. We spend so much time and money playing basketball, football, right? Now, keep in mind, guys, I am a personal trainer who specializes in training athletes to get big, strong, and fast. That's my specialty, and I'm damn good at it. That's one of my talents that you guys don't know about, okay? That's one of my talents, right? But I am fully aware that the odds of somebody becoming a professional athlete, out of all the athletes that I train, right, the odds of any of them ever becoming a professional athlete are very slim because the odds are against your favor, okay? In the NFL, in the National Football League in America, in American football, there's only what? I think it's 30 teams.
32.
Yeah, 30 teams, and each team can have 60 players. That's 1,800 slots that's available to be a professional athlete, to be a professional football player. And how many football players, how many high schools are in America, and how many football players are there? Tons, thousands of American football players, high school football players. But every year, there's only a few slots available. There's only a few seats open for new players to come onto the league. They can't, each team can only have like 60 players the last time I checked. You can't add more players than that. So if you're a high school athlete, no matter how good you think you are, the chances of you being on there are very slim. That's just the math. I'm not making this shit up. That's just the math.
Statistics.
Yeah, that's just statistics, right? Now check this out. In the book, The Millionaire Next Door, they said that 1 in 4 entrepreneurs will become a millionaire. 1 in 4. That means that you, me, like right now, if you go grab 3 of your friends in college or high school and you come out and you say, you know what, we're going to go build a business. We're going to go and start a business so that we can become millionaires, right? 3 of you guys may not make it, but there's a really good chance that 1 of you guys will make it and become a millionaire from building a business, right?
Yeah, I would have the 25% chance rather than the 1 in 4,000.
Yeah, you have a significantly better chance. And the other advantage of being an entrepreneur is this, is that there are more successful entrepreneurs in the world that have become millionaires than there are student athletes that have become professional athletes. Mm-hmm. So the odds of you going to find a professional athlete to ask him, hey man, how did you make your million? Right? Can you show me? It's really hard because there's not that many of them. Whereas there's a lot of successful business people. There are a lot of successful millionaire entrepreneurs and business people that you can go and go, hey man, I'm stuck here. How do I get past this hurdle here in becoming a millionaire entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you guys?
Yeah. There's more of these millionaires available so that we can go and learn from them so that we don't have to figure it out. Okay? It's so much easier than trying to go and fight somebody for a spot in the American Football League, right? Where there's only 1,800 players and they're still playing. It's not like all of them retire and then the next year there's 1,800 slots open, right? Most of them are still playing. So there's only a limited number of seats available, okay? So I'm going to share my screen again, okay? So this is what I would consider the invest in crypto. That's the first hook. Now, the thing with that, though, is this, right? Like if you may not have a strong belief in crypto like me and Leon and the others on our team, simply because you're new to it.
Yes.
Right? So there's no way that you can pour 100% of your heart and soul and energy into it. There's absolutely no way. If somebody says that they just got into crypto last week and boom, they're gonna put everything into it, it's real. That's foolish to do that for something you don't understand. And second, that's just not realistic. But so that's one hook, right? And we'll work with you to create a portfolio, right, with the money that you put in, so that portfolio, if the market goes from, right, the market is currently somewhere around 350 billion. That portfolio, if it grows to, let's say, 3.5 trillion, then that equals a 10x growth. See that?
Mm-hmm.
And if it grows to 7 trillion, like people project to be equivalent to the gold, to the precious metals market, to the gold market, then this will be a 20x gain. Okay? So even if you have a 10x right here and you get a 20x out of it, that's a massive return. That's really excellent profit growth, right? But it's still not enough to get you to $1 million because that's relying only on one hook, one fish hook in the stream. Okay, so we gotta add another one, and this is gonna be the entrepreneur hook. Okay.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship. That's what's gonna. So the advantage of the entrepreneurship is it's something that you can understand. It's something that you can create, right? So based on the talents and the drive that Kasey has, when we sat down and we looked at what she was doing on the first call that she reached out to me, and when her dad, wanted her to reach out to me and see what she can do, right? We looked at what her talents are, and we realized that she has a talent in video creation along with these others. Now, there's some other talents that she has too, but the one that I can see right off the bat that can help her make money is the video making skills, okay? And I'm not talking about the goofy ass, amateurish videos that I'm making, guys. I'm talking about the professional grade quality videos that she makes, okay? And at a different time, we'll show it to you, okay? So here's the thing, okay? So here's the thing. We need to create some kind of product or service based around your video making skills. Okay, that's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to create a product or a service around
my talent.
Yeah, around your talent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, here's the thing. Okay. Let me just stop the screen sharing here, right? Here's the thing, guys. Why did I choose video making skills for you, Kasey?
Is because when you asked me what is something that you know how to do, I showed you my portfolio.
Yeah, you showed me your video portfolio, right? The other thing too is that you want to do something that's easy for you, right? Now, go ahead and talk about your idea of creating videos for weddings and stuff. Go ahead and talk about that.
Okay, so
originally, so that the audience knows.
So creating videos for weddings and stuff, that's very complicated. And typically if you create a video, like if you're hired to film a wedding, doing it by yourself is hard. You're going to have a team, right? And the typical rate for, like, if I were to go create a video, if I was hired to do a wedding video, I would charge around $4,000 to $10,000 depending on the wedding. But then I also have to put in the fact that there's expenses to be paid. My equipment isn't cheap. And then I have to split up the cost between my team members too. And so that lowers how much money I would bring home. But then it also brings back, am I able to scale with my videoing skills?
Yeah, so talk about how much, just rough estimate so that the audience knows, right? What's the cost that let's say that if I had a wedding and I hire you to come be a wedding videographer, how much would you charge me? $5,000, $10,000?
Well, we can use my parents, for example. Back in 2011, they paid around $7,000.
Okay, so let's just say we'll make 10,000 just so the math is easy, right? Okay, so if you want, first of all, you're not gonna that whole 10,000 is not gonna be profit. We all know that. Only a small portion of it is gonna be profit.
Exactly. Right?
So let's just say that there's a 20% profit margin in there. So out of that 10,000, 2,000 of his actual profits. The rest are expenses, right? So now how long is that going to take you to get to $1 million? If that's the case.
If you make 2,000 each,
that's going to take forever.
500,000 video wedding shooting.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to do a ton of weddings. You better hope that A lot of people are getting married, you know. So what are you doing, Tina?
Daddy, I pee.
You poo-poo?
I pee in diaper.
You poo-poo in the diaper?
Yep.
Okay. So I want you to come here, Athena. Come here. So explain how when we had that discussion, so our audience knows, Kasey, why that did not make sense. Like, you know, even if you get paid $10,000 a wedding, why that would not make sense.
So it brings back to scalability. Is my talent able to meet the demands if the demand comes to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if to make $1 million and I make a $2,000 profit out of every single one, am I able to create 500,000 videos, wedding videos? Am I able to film 500,000 wedding videos? And let's say if I give myself a 4-year period to make the $1 million, am I able to do that? Absolutely not.
No, because it's not scalable. There's no way you can do enough weddings to make $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's no way for you that I know of, okay? Just because I don't know it, that doesn't mean that somebody else out there doesn't know it, okay? But that I know of, that you can make videos of a wedding that will allow you to make $1 million, unless you're filming like the royal wedding or some dumb shit like that, you know, and then I don't know, sell it as a documentary or sell it as a movie or some shit. Then I can see you making $1 million. Yeah. Taking like, you know, everyday regular folks' weddings and charging them $10,000 per wedding. I don't see how that's going to get you to $1 million.
And that's what when we looked at my portfolio, I was freelancing.
Yeah. So I don't see how that's going to work. Okay. So the thing that can work is this. Okay. So let me share the screen again. And the reason why I'm going through this, guys, right, is that these are long-term investing and money-making skills that I'm sharing with you guys, okay? These are not like, you know, temporary skills. These are real skills, okay? So you need to create a product or service around your video skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
The product or service needs to be able to generate what's called recurring revenues. Okay. Or let me just make it easy. So for the folks that are outside the US, recurring income.
Right.
Okay? So whatever it is, you can create the video, but it has to be what type of video will get you recurring income. So let's take a look at a few examples here, right? You can create a movie, right? You can create a TV show. You can create a documentary, right? You can create, there's a lot of things that you can create that's video based that will generate a recurring revenue or an income. Okay, so let's just take a movie, for example. Let's just say that you were to use your video making skills or your cinematography skills to create a Bitcoin movie, right? Let me take it off the screen share here, right? Now, if you were to do that, could you make a cryptocurrency movie about anything, like the history of Satoshi Nakamoto, the history of Bitcoin, or, you know, you can make an action pack, a drama, a crime movie, you know, you can make a movie about Silk Road. You can make a movie about, you know, the government busting somebody for doing some illegal Bitcoins. There's a lot of things that you can come up with when it comes to movies, right? Mm-hmm. So can you create a TV show? Like we create a, what do you call that? These random videos on YouTube, right? And could you take that and make it a more professional and just make it more like more professional, like they do on CNBC or like on Bloomberg or something like that? Yeah. So could you just start your own financial TV show to where people come on, and then could you take that TV show or that movie after you make it and go sell it to the networks?
Definitely. I mean, that's an option.
Yeah. Could you create like a TV show where, hey, I'm going to create 10 episodes, right? And then I'm going to go and create it around me or around Ty, around Leon, around other people in crypto, and then go and pitch it to CNBC or to Bloomberg, right? we know it can be done because there's people that do it all the time. So why wouldn't, you know, you just got to do the right piece that's interesting enough that would satisfy what they're looking for, and then you could sell it to them, right? And then after you finish selling it to one network, you can take it, turn around, and then sell it again to another network. You can sell it to Hulu. You can sell it to Amazon live streaming. You can sell it to Amazon Prime or sell to Netflix, right? Now, the advantage of that, right? The advantage of that is that it's recurring. You create the product one time, and then you package it, and then you turn around and you sell it. Just like when we taught the cryptocurrency investing bootcamp, there's people flooded in to come and take it, right?
Yes.
And we have a large number of people that come in and take our cryptocurrency investing bootcamp. But then there are people that cannot get a visa or due to scheduling issues, they cannot come into the U.S. to attend cryptocurrency investing bootcamp. So can we, and we know there's a demand for it. There's people that want to take it, but they can't come to the U.S. to take it. So can we film the entire thing and then sell that whole package to the people who can't come to the U.S.?
Definitely can.
Yeah. So we're able to teach it and stream the video to someone else or send them the DVDs for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but since you're not a cryptocurrency trader or investor and you don't have the background in teaching people how to trade, right? Then you would use those same video skills to create other things that are needed in crypto. Like there's 1,600 cryptocurrency projects out there. Can you go do documentaries on their projects? And can they take that money that they have and pay you from their marketing campaigns or their marketing and pay you to create the videos for their project? Absolutely.
Can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can even do it, and they will pay you a lot more than you working a $40,000 or $50,000 a year job and never get to it. Whereas if you do these documentaries and depend upon the quality of that you do, could you charge $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 for it? Absolutely. Okay. So there's no reason why you do have the video making skills to create quality videos. You just got to find the niche or the market that will actually pay you the amount of money that you're looking for to make that video for them.
Yes.
Okay. So let's pause right there to take some questions right here.
You're
right?
going to laugh. I've been monitoring.
Huh? Timothy Gunter says, document her journey to 1 million and sell it to Netflix. Absolutely. There's another one right there. There's another one right there. You can document how you got there, right?
Yes.
And sell that documentary after it's done, after you get to them.
Or if somebody documents me with not doing it, don't I still get like royalties or something? Because it's about me and I'm still alive.
Well, I mean, somebody can do it just won't include you in it. It'll just talk about you.
Yeah.
I mean, like we can do a documentary about Obama. He don't need to be in the video.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay. So Winter Bear says, serious though, if you can get your hands on the sensitivity tech shit, then the Chinese gonna pay you big bucks, I heard. Not for me though, I'm high school dropout. I don't even know what the hell. He needs to get his ass back in school so he can fucking type shit that people can understand. I don't even know what the hell you just said there, Winter Bear, right? Timothy Gunter says, that has less odds than becoming a pro football player. I can't even comment because I don't even know what Winter Bear just said, right? Or do some outrageous shit and get invited to CNN, get famous, and get a book deal done, $1 million. I don't know how to do that shit, man.
That's luck, though. That's not a skill.
Yeah, that's luck. We got to do something that's consistent, man, that we can repeat over and over. Okay. Man, Winter Bear got some fucking crazy ass ideas, man. Okay. Now, I don't know, man. Some of those, I've seen some people make money off of them. So I don't know the formula for that, man. I don't know how to do that shit. So I can't do
that. I'll tell you, I'm not the type of person to do that.
Yeah. And that's going to be hard for us to do, Winter Bear, because we're Asians, you know. That's more, you got to leave that shit to the white folks, man. They're good at doing crazy shit like that. Asians are not known for, doing crazy shit like that and then getting on CNN, because we got that bullshit about losing face and shit. So that's that's going to be tough to do, man. I don't know how to do that shit. Okay, so
them Stormy Daniels.
yeah. I'm not going to be sitting here telling Kasey to do what Stormy Daniels did, because
would come after
her
him.
dad would come over and shoot my ass with a shotgun, a sawed-off shotgun or some dumb shit, and a sock and beat the shit out of me for telling his daughter that. Okay, so that I'm not going to do that shit. Okay, so I want
his own daughter to do that. So why would he tell me?
Yeah. So good one, Winter Bear. But let's get back to real skills. Okay. All right. So. Okay, so so this is what you finished? Okay, all right. Poo intermission. Hold on here. Hey, talk about how about the software. The short-term making software. That you talked about today.
You mean short-term mentality?
Yeah, the short-term mentality, and not looking at the long-term, Okay. So just share that with the audience.
Short-term mentality, let me try to put it in a way that you guys can understand. So when me and Ty went over and discussed options I had available to me, he was like,
using names you gotta use fake names to protect the innocent.
Okay, so we went over options, and as you know, Ty has a lot of connections. He's like, I can connect you with whatever desired field you want to go in, whatever state you want to go in. I can most likely connect you with somebody. But you would start out making $48,000 a year. Is that going to get you to your goal, right? Well, if I were to accept the offer that he had me then, the short-term gain would be I'm guaranteed $48,000 a year. That's around the starting salary for a recent college grad, right? So that's thinking short-term, whereas he was like, we can think long-term, and like we're going through the steps that we're going with you guys. What am I good at? What kind of skills can I learn to perfect, like better the chances of me making $1 million rather than accepting the short-term game of $48,000 a year? And how can I surround myself around the right people and get the right camp around me to continually hone in on these skills and have it think long-term and have the money coming back to me over and over rather than $48,000 a year? And let's bring out the calculator. If I were to make $48,000 a year, right? We got to account for Uncle Sam too, which is, if you guys aren't from the US, that's tax. And if you make $48,000, it takes around 25% out. So 48 times 0.25 is around $12,000. So really, I would only be bringing home $36,000 a year. And I had the goal of making $1 million by the time I'm 25. That's 4 years. If I'm bringing in $36,000 a year, how long is it going to take me to make that $1 million? Right? That's accepting the short-term advantage of automatic gain $36,000 a year. Whereas if I'm thinking long-term and I'm learning from, he went through this process, and I'm willing to sit here and put in the time to listen to what he has to say to me and how I can better myself and better the skills that I already have to eventually have a better process of making $1 million than $36,000 a year, right?
Yeah, because it's not scalable. Like you're going from one job to the next, and it's not recurring. Like you want to look at something to where you can create it one time, right? Like our team spent the time, the money, and the effort, and the legal resources, to hire the lawyers and everything. To review our curriculum, to make sure everything's compliant with government regulations and we're not saying something crazy or outlandish or stupid, and we can get that done. And then it's a product that we can constantly sell over and over and over because there's a need for it in the market, okay? Because not everyone can come to our cryptocurrency investing bootcamp in order to learn. And right now, we got the cryptocurrency investing blueprint on sale right now. That's going right now as we're speaking, So when people get that, then that's an extra recurring stream of income for us on top of the trading and the investing that we're already doing. Okay. So,
thank you for pointing that out. 36K, I would spend it all. I would be living paycheck to paycheck if I were staying in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, so if you have the resources right now, so here's the game plan right here, guys, right? This is what we're going to do to help map this out for Kasey. Okay, let me share the screen out here again. Right. So here's the thing. Okay, so we know that this is one fish hook that we throw in the stream right here. That's going to help. Okay, so that right there. Once I help Kasey create a cryptocurrency portfolio, right? Once she creates that, now keep in mind, guys, she is not a trader like myself, like David, right? And she has no desire to be a trader. She just wants to be able to profit from this opportunity, this boom, right? This boom that we have for the next like 2, 3, 4 years. She wants to profit from that. Okay, so we're going to show her how to create a long-term portfolio so that she can put her money to work for her. Okay. But the other skills is going to have to be in the entrepreneurship world in the blockchain space. Okay. Now, the reason why I have her doing that and developing those skills is because it's a skill that is repeatable. Once she learns how to build a, once she learns, guys, how to build a process of how to create a product or a service that the cryptocurrency community wants, right? She can repeat that process even when the cryptocurrency market becomes efficient and it dies down. She still has the entrepreneurship skills to go and create other products and services that's video based for in other industries, in other sectors that will still be a recurring stream of income for her. So that it's not just luck, because if we bank everything on her cryptocurrency portfolio, what happens if she doesn't hit that $1 million with it, right? What happens if it takes 20 years before the cryptocurrency market grows up, her portfolio grows up to the point where it makes $1 million, right? We cannot rely on that. So we have to create multiple fish hooks and bait and throw it out there so that we can catch the opportunities when they come down. Okay. Now, in Kasey's case, right, what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and look at, okay, is she capable of making a movie by herself? Does she require talent? Right? I mean, does she require help? Which one of these requires the least amount of resources? Okay. Maybe a movie, it may cost her $1 million or $2 million to make a cryptocurrency movie, and she has to hire a team of people and all staff and all that to get it done, right? Maybe we have to contribute funds to help her create that movie. What about a TV show, a cryptocurrency TV show? Maybe she can do that, less money, less staff, less overhead, less expenses to get it. What about a documentary, right? What if we sat down and take a look at a documentary that we can create that she can sell, right, to the networks, to the crypto community, and a bunch of other things, right? So that's what I believe that she can do. Now, in this particular case, because I've seen some earlier videos that she's done already, and I would say to go with this, right?
Right.
To go with this because it's easy. And when I say it's easy, what I mean is that it doesn't require a lot of overhead. And based on the videos that you've already shown me, your portfolio that you showed me, right? I believe that you would be able to do it. And let's just say that your first documentary, you don't make that much money off of it. Let's say you only make 50,000. You only make 100,000. You only make 20,000. Maybe you only break even. You don't even make a profit. Maybe you'll lose money on it. But you know what you will get out of it, regardless of what the outcome is?
The knowledge.
Knowledge and the experience of how to create a product, a video product, and take it to market and then be able to sell it.
Yes.
How to research what the market wants, right? How to create that product to fulfill that need, and then how to sell it and market it and then sell it to the right people that would want to buy it.
Yes.
Okay. Now that is a skill that can be repeated. That is a skill that you can take with you for the rest of your life and be able to repeat and be able to do. Okay. Because if I just tell you, hey, get into this coin because it's going to make you a shitload of money, what happens after that coin? What happens afterwards? And what happens if it doesn't make you that $1 million? What are you going to do then?
Exactly. I don't know, because like you pointed out, I don't know crap about crypto.
Okay. And by the time you learn it, right?
It's too late.
Well, I wouldn't say it's too late, but maybe that's not your thing. Right? There's a lot of people in America that go work regular jobs and they invest in the stock market, but how come they're not going out there learning how to trade stocks? Because it's not their thing. Right? I listen to music. I watch movies. I don't run out there and go make movies. I don't go out there and become a rapper or something. Right? Just because we consume the content doesn't mean that we have to be the one creating that content. Okay? So, Timothy Gunter says, create Kasey Coin ICO. Kasey Coin. Oh, there's Ben Nguyen. Ben Nguyen is a guy from Vietnam that came to America, and he's offering to help me get some of the information into Vietnamese, some of the crypto information, because the Vietnamese community, they're hungry for this information, and I have not broadcast about it in Vietnamese because some of the technical terms are too technical for me, and I don't want to say it wrong and then have people do the wrong computer security or some shit and lose money. Okay, so
just listen to Ty and learn to love crypto.
Yeah.
I'm listening to him.
Yeah. And okay, so does anyone else have any other questions, guys? Right? I know that. So here's the summary here. Okay, and then we can bring it to a close, and then we can broadcast later on. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. You got to know how much you want to make. Okay. You got to know what the underlying reason is for why you want to make that amount of money. Okay. In your case, you said, I want financial security. I want to give back. In my case, I want financial freedom, and I also want to give back. Right. And then the third is take a personal inventory. Right. Whatever the amount of money you start with, that's what you're going to have to work with. If you only have $1,000, then that's what you start with. If you only have $100, that's what you start with. If you have $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, that's what you start with. Don't sit there and bitch and complain that, hey, I don't have enough or whatever, right? Start with what you have. Learn the skills. The money will come once you develop the money-making skills. Trust me, if you know how to manage money and know how to invest money, money will come to you. The reason why you don't have the money is because you haven't learned those skills yet. Okay, and the advantage of cryptocurrency is that anyone can learn, whether they have $10, $100, $1,000, $100,000. In the stock market, if you want to be a day trader, you need a minimum of $25,000 in your account. So that prevents a lot of people from being able to learn how to trade stocks. Okay, but in cryptocurrencies, anyone can learn how to invest or trade with even $10. So there's absolutely no excuse. Okay, there's no minimum limit like they do in stocks. Right? Now, take an inventory, what your finances are, what your talents are, right? Here's another inventory, okay, that I forgot to mention here, right? So you have parental support, okay?
And I'll be honest with you, I do.
Yeah, you do. You do. Like, yeah, in this particular case, you do. I'm just using you as an example because you're the case study here.
Yes. And I'm telling you guys, I do have parental support.
Yeah. Yeah. So the personal inventory is that you have parental support. Okay. And so by that, they're willing to let you stay in their house, right? An additional year or two while you learn to build your business in the blockchain space, while you learn to invest your portfolio. Okay, so that's something that is a huge advantage. So some people might not look at that as a resource or an edge or an advantage, but in your case, it is.
It is.
Okay? Yeah, it is. Now, here's the other thing too. Okay, the other inventory you have is you have us guiding you. So you actually have some real millionaire mentors. And I'm going to introduce you to some other millionaire mentors. Okay? So right away, in just the last since you graduated from college, right?
Week and a half?
Yeah, a week and a half. How many millionaires have you met already since you know me? Since your dad introduced me?
Probably like a handful.
Yeah, a handful. Whereas
that's fast for a week and a half, whereas my first 21 years before interning with Ty, I don't even know if I've met a millionaire. Or I don't know.
Yeah, so I know for a fact you met at least 4.
4 in my head. I know.
Yeah, I know 4. I know you met me, you met Leon, and then you met Bacano from the Panda Exchange, and then you just met Adi today, who runs who's the CEO and founder of the Wise app. So right there. And that's only in less than 10 days of you graduating high school. So notice the difference. Notice the difference that makes in your life when you think about surrounding yourself with millionaires when you are trying to become a millionaire.
Yes.
Right? So imagine the other people, the other millionaires that I'm going to introduce you to. And that's why I say be prepared. Be prepared. If you want to become a millionaire and you want to be financially free, you want to be financially successful, you have to surround yourself with other millionaires that have already made it. Okay? You can't surround yourself with a bunch of idiots or a bunch of broke asses. And that's the mistake that I made. That's the mistake that the rest of our team made, is because we were sitting around powwowing and trying to, come up with ideas on how to make $1 million from other broke motherfuckers. Okay? A broke ass can't help you.
A broke ass can help me be broke.
Yeah, exactly. A broke ass is really good at helping you be broke. Okay? So yeah, like Ben is saying here, right? If you want to soar like an eagle, right, you cannot hang around a bunch of turkeys because turkeys can't fly. Okay? So don't if you already met 4 millionaires in just a week and a half, right? Imagine if you keep surrounding yourself with that. How come they didn't introduce you to any successful millionaires when you were in 4 years in college? Right? Yeah, how come they didn't have a millionaire come in and speak to you in college and to your other classmates and say, hey, this is, you know what? You guys are going to go out there, you're going to struggle financially. Maybe here's some tips that you guys can use to help improve your personal finances.
Yeah.
Okay? So just be aware that you surround yourself with the right people and all that stuff, you're going to have a huge advantage. Okay? Let me see. Let me share the screen again. Okay? So millionaire mentors, right? So what is a realistic timeline? Nobody knows. Nobody knows that. If somebody can tell you that, they're full of shit. Now what is expected? Like if you are being guided by quality millionaire mentors, such as ourselves and our team, and you have the drive, the motivation to succeed, you're driven to succeed, and you're willing to get off your ass and go do shit instead of just talking about it or just reading about it, right? Right? So who was it in here? Let me see. Somebody said about reading or something like that. Okay? But
what books you should...
Reading a book ain't going to help you. Doing what's in the knowledge that's inside that book is what's going to help you. Okay? And you really don't even have to read it to find that knowledge. You can just ask people. It's faster to just ask them, hey, what do I do first? What do I do next? Okay? So here is the game plan. Here's the roadmap that's going to help you get to $1 million, right? The first thing is we're going to build your portfolio. That doesn't take very long to do. Okay? That doesn't take very long to do, right? No. That should only take like less than a month at most, maybe 2 months to build that portfolio and then rebalance it whenever during the necessary periods. Okay. The other thing too, the next thing is this, right? Creating a product or a service, right, is your entrepreneurship in the blockchain industry. Create a product or service around using your video skills, right? I should say using your video skills, right? The product or service needs to be able to generate recurring income. So you can't just focus on creating a one-time video. You got to create something that you can sell over and over and over. okay, that provides recurring income. Okay, so the reason why, guys, the reason why I'm taking the time to share this with you guys, okay, is because I want you guys to see that trading and investing in the blockchain and in cryptocurrencies is one stream of income, one way. Don't forget, guys, that according to the Millionaire Next Door, the method that has consistently produced more millionaires than anything else in America or in the world is entrepreneurship. Okay, building a product, building a service that people want. Okay, and in the future episode or something, we'll go into more detail about that. Okay, so we'll take some last questions and then we'll wrap up this episode. Okay, so let me see. So Timothy Gunter says, thanks for the webcast tonight. I'm going to marinate in this knowledge. See you for the next one, right? So, okay. Stick around, Ben. I'm going to give you a call on Skype just to chat with you real quick, okay, after this, all right? So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching this video, guys.
Thanks for sitting in on my story.
Huh?
Thanks for sitting in on my story.
Yeah. So thanks. Yeah. And if you guys like this video where I'm working with Kasey here to create a case study of how to create wealth and how to become a millionaire, guys, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm sure it's not going to hurt Kasey's feelings, right? We're going to continue moving on whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So it won't matter to us. Okay. The train doesn't stop just because you don't like what we're doing. Okay. We're going to continue moving on. Okay. So thanks for watching this video. You want more videos like this? Make sure you go to www.cryptocurrency.market/newsletter and we'll go from there. Okay. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, and it's in the description. And then we'll see you guys in the next video. Okay. So thanks, guys. And this will conclude the broadcast.